Hello, my name is Tommy. I'm trying to attack my mother's type 1 diabetes, so I'm making these videos. So last video I did back ab exercise 2,000 times. And what's back ab exercise? I actually wrote a lot of text in the last video, but I couldn't explain there enough because the text box was too short. I wrote too much. So I'm making this follow-up video. I'll put the link below. Please look at the video and the explanation text below that. I strongly recommend it because otherwise you don't really know what I'm talking about here. There should be more tips on how to do it and stuff like that, how you can go wrong, instead of going sideways, you could twist your body, or you tend to do that instead of that, that kind of stuff. So I'll try to make a follow-up video. There's a person named Dr. Koda who died in 2008. He spent 50 years of his life treating, a lot of incurable diseases with fasting and diet techniques combined with this back ab exercise and Mr. Nishi's, other laws. Maybe make a couple of videos to follow up that. Okay, let me start explaining back ab exercise. Back ab exercise, I just named it in English, but it's actually called Haifuku Undo or Haifuku exercise. It's Japanese. This crazy guy named Katsuzo Nishi, he invented it. He was trying to make exercise or methods that can apply to anybody on earth, okay, to prevent and fix illnesses, cure illnesses, okay. And Mr. Nishi made his own medical science. Mr. Nishi's medical science has 6 laws, and this back ab exercise is the 6th law of the 6 laws, because in his medical science he proposed to quantify with body liquid pH. Having pH control of your body liquid is very important in his medical science, and this back ab exercise adjusts the body liquid pH too. So I'm saying this back ab exercise is an iconic law in Mr. Nishi's medical science. Generally speaking, what it does is imagine like a soft weed with the blades and leaves with the the thin blades, and imagine this is the main stem of the weed, and if you put it on the water, if the water surface is here, and if you pull it, the leaves gather, when you pull to the direction of root, gathers towards the main stem. And if you say that the leaves of the axis is represent the illness or imbalance, if you pull it, it leads to the norm, and if you pull fast enough, it becomes one single straight line. This is what the exercise does. It pulls everything to the norm, or the ideal state. And that's what it's doing. So but please note that this exercise has to be done every day, morning and evening for a long period of time to adjust your body. So it's not as my analogy, you just pull it and you succeed on attaining an optimum health or ideal health. In contrast, when you use a drug for a particular symptom or something, a drug focuses on one symptom, one leaf, and try to do that. It may do that, but some new leaves come out. That's a side effect. And that's why it gets so complicated when you treat like someone, eventually, like when you do something like that, like, if your body is healthy enough, you'll take care of that side effect and everything. But when it gets messy, it gets messier, 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 and like messier. And like, you never end. And like, that's like the major difference I see from Nishi's medical science and other medical sciences. So in other words, Nishi's medical science only uses the law of nature, and the others uses or are involved with ego or unsophisticated or unbalanced theories. So that's like the critical difference. Also, I want to mention that treating incurable diseases takes, a lot of other techniques, mainly having right diet and using technique of fasting, intermittent and prolonged fasting. Okay, and fasting also, I believe that it only uses the law of nature, so it doesn't do that kind of stuff. But fasting is different from Mr. Nishi's method because Mr. Nishi's method has that pull. Fasting, you wait for your body to do that naturally. Okay, that's very good, and and it only uses the law of nature. Therefore, fasting and Mr. Nishi's method combines with harmony. Okay, so in actual treatment, they're used combined. They together perform very, very good. Okay, and like it's proven to work. The reason why the pulling is so important is that the fact that I think the humans don't live in wildlife anymore. We're not like one of the wildlife species, animal species anymore. So we start doing weird things like reading books, like on a soft couch, or like sleeping on springed soft bed, or like doing computer work or driving a car, or like doing like a sports, like I used to play golf. That's like you only swing this way, like it's so unbalanced, so it kind of puts a lot of unbalanced force in your life. That's what a lot of people do, and that's what why like humans suffer a lot from diseases. Also, not just physical activities, but also way we eat. We are the only one who eat cooked food and seasoning, but that's what we do, and like that's a lot of people enjoy. So that's why when we can pull, we can force to like accelerate the natural recovery and prevent or like allows you to do something unnatural, like reading book or driving a car, and then like you do that back ab exercise, and you get closer to normal or ideal health. Let me go into the science behind the back ab exercise. It does 5 things. 1, spinal cord adjustment. 2, body liquid pH adjustment. 3, fully operate autonomic nerves. 4, promote absorption by veins. 5, promote circulation of intestine. I'll explain each in the following. 1, spinal cord adjustment. Back motion corrects distortion of spinal cord. Imagine like 20 hockey pucks stacked inside a glass tube with diameter a little larger than the hockey pucks. By swinging the glass tube in one plane with one pivot point, you can imagine that hockey pucks get aligned on single axis. That's how it corrects distortion, and that's how it works. Thus, it is important to keep your spinal cord unbent while doing the exercise. Distortion of spinal cord has correlation with diseases. With upright walking by mechanics, vertebrae that are most likely to be affected, distorted, or dislocated are cervical vertebra C1 and C4, thoracic vertebra T2, T5, and T10, lumbar vertebra L2 and L5. To give you some examples, when cervical vertebrae C1 is distorted, it affects stomach, kidney, lungs, spleen, pancreas, etc. Thoracic vertebrae T2 is correlated with heart and lungs. Thoracic vertebrae T10 is correlated with kidneys. Lumbar vertebrae L2 is correlated with appendicitis and sex organ. 2. Body liquid pH adjustment. Back motion, swinging body left and right, pulls body liquid pH in acidic direction. Abdominal motion, in and out abdominal motion, on the other hand, pulls body liquid pH in alkaline direction. Together, like the analogy of weed I just mentioned earlier, body liquid pH is led to its physiological neutral range, which is between 7.0 to 7.4. When pH is within this range, diseases are much less likely to occur and bacterium cannot breed. pH less than 7.2 is called acidosis, and pH greater than 7.47 is called alkalosis. They are both not diseases, but they induce diseases. Acidosis temporarily creates negative impact on circulatory system and leads to diabetes, high blood pressure, arteriosclerosis, etc. And 70% of illness was said to be induced from acidosis. Alkalosis, on the other hand, has less real harms since alkaline naturally gets excreted from intestine. However, it can cause hyperacidity, stomach ulcer, cancer, tinnitus, etc. And 30% of illness was said to be induced from alkalosis. 3. Fully operate autonomic nerves. Back motion stimulates the sympathetic nerves. Abdominal motion stimulates vagus nerves that are the major part of parasympathetic nerves. Autonomic nerves are composed of these sympathetic nerves and parasympathetic nerves. Therefore, together, the exercise promotes autonomic nerves to operate fully. Sympathetic nerves govern suppressive function, and parasympathetic nerves govern promotion of organ functionality. Because they are mainly distributed on organs, you can say that autonomic nerves are the king that is dominating our body. Thus, it is very important that our autonomic nerves functions fully and properly. By the way, autonomic nerves are the ones we cannot control ourselves, and somatic nerves or cerebrospinal nerves are the ones that we control with our intentions. 4. Promote absorption by veins. Abdominal motion directly actually stimulates veins themselves to awaken them, so to speak, to promote absorption from intestine. This will make the digestive and transportation or circulatory mechanism to work better, to be more efficient, to work more efficient. 5. Promote circulation of intestine. Abdominal motion also promotes circulation of entire intestine by stimulating intestine. To note, this circulation of intestine is also promoted by vagus nerves. This will prevent constipation and remove fecal impaction and builds a cleaner intestine, which leads to the base of healthy longevity. The secret of healthy longevity is to keep your intestine empty. Okay, that was the overview of science behind the back ab exercise. I'll do the follow-up video discussing more details on how to do back ab exercise and some videos on related topic in the future. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.